got a little detour on the way to the lake this week. Saturday morning, wet and windy one, and we're in Manchester for the National Angling Show. Loads of people waiting. We've got 2 days of show, and then on Sunday I'm going straight from the show up to K1 for a bit of angling. So I've got to work for a living. The other side of the coin. People say I don't do anything apart from go fishing and enjoy myself. Well, I'm going to show you different. But I enjoy this as well. It's all good fun. I ain't moaning. I ain't got to stand out in the wet with all this lot. I get straight to the front of the queue. Right, see you in there. Now here we are in the show before it opens. When you can actually walk about without getting jostled and bustled. Full of people in about half an hour. Just got to find me a stand. Oh, here we are. This is us, home for 2 days. Mr. Malin, morning.
Hey, come and visit the Bounty Understand, opposite the stage. Big books today.
So the show's filled up nicely now. Here's the new mainline stand. Very posh, look at that. All gear, all new smart liquids. A lovely staff. Sorry. They've been cooking up a few hook baits on there. Look. How are we doing? All good? Yeah, all good.
Cheers, buddy.
Yeah, it's quite busy in here now, quite hard to manoeuvre about, all good. Yeah, it's a really good show this year. It's all going on. Just got to pop over to the Anglers Against Cancer stall. Through remember the last couple of book raffles I've done, always sell a couple of extra tickets just to make a few quid for the charity. So I'm going to go and pay that over now. So any of you that bought tickets for that, you can see your money going, or your excess money going to a good cause. Here we are. Have a quick word with them first. Right, here we are. We're on the AAC stand. Got myself a nice cup of tea. They do a blinding deal. You buy a mug for a £5, and then you get free tea throughout the 2 days, well, the day of the show, whichever day you're here. But that's not what we're here for. We're here to give away money. So here we are. Here's the man himself.
Bless him. How are you?
Very good, very good. So the last 2 books, there was 25 quid extra on each one. So I worked that out. It's bullseye. See what to say. So there we go. Anyone that bought a ticket, there's your 50 quid going to a very worthwhile cause. There you go.
Thank you very much indeed, Dave. Excellent.
No problem. Right, let's move on round. Yeah.
Lovely.
Right, see you all later.
Lovely. Cheers, Dave.
Right, so here we are at the Northern Show. We're in some strange restaurant. I don't know what I've ordered, but this apparently is my plate. I'm here with the lads. Here's Al. Here's our lovely waitress. And Si. And she laughed when I ordered this. Apparently it's called the Barbarian. And as soon as I ordered it, she burst out laughing, and then she scattered all of this around in front of me. So we shall see. I'll let you know in a minute. Oh! I bet it just bounced off my leg and fell on the floor, but apart from that, it's all looking good. Nice. Oh, there's more stuff. Yeah. I've actually just had a little delve about in here, and there is what they might call a ton of meat here. And I've just found out it's supposed to be a sharing platter for many, many people. But I don't share. Look at that lot. Happy days. Right, there we go. That's about 20 minutes later. That's as good as I can do. I've left a sausage. I actually left 2 sausages, but Pig's ear at this other one. We've all had a little taste. It was bloody lovely, but I've been done up like a kipper because this was my cider and this was my second cider. What is that all about? And I haven't even noticed. I've drunk half of it. Low alcohol. Oh, it's like poison, isn't it? It's like drinking water. What's the point? That's for fish. But there you go. We've all ate well. We've got one more day of the show to go, and I'll do a little bit of filming from the show tomorrow. But so far, so good. See you later. So here we are. We've had the meal, and we're now inside the Trafford Centre, which is just, well, it's pretty unbelievable, really, for a shopping centre. The place is vast. This is just one small section of it. I mean, look at that. It's just a big mock ocean liner with pool. Everywhere's, when you go in the outer circle, everywhere's like sort of marble with big statues, and it is very, very imposing. Incredible place. I'm not a great lover of shopping centres, but this is on a different level. So Saturday night, we've got tomorrow to go at the show, and then as soon as it finishes, I think it's 4 o'clock, let's jump in the motor and straight down the pond. I should be down at K1 by about 7:30, I think, tomorrow evening. In the pitch black, but who cares, eh? We'll be fishing. 24 hours to go. Just before we leave the Trafford Centre, this is the downstairs section, or the outer section, which is no less imposing than the inner section, to be honest. There's these sort of things everywhere. Nice! Got to do it, ain't you, when you're a bloke. I mean, look at that staircase. Just incredible. So I'm not the sort of person that would be impressed with the shopping centre, but you've got to be impressed with this one, really. Crazy place. I've been on holiday. Right, that's me, back to the hotel and off to the show in the morning. See you there. Ta-da. Well, here we go, Sunday morning. Bit croaky. Say goodbye to my little room. Been home for the last 2 nights. Head off for the last day of the show. And then we're going straight fishing. Got a bit of a dilemma. So we've got the rugby. England in the Six Nations starts at 3 o'clock, and the show doesn't finish till 4 o'clock, and then I'll be travelling. So how and where do I watch the rugby? What I'm thinking is I'm going to go in radio silence, so I don't hear any of the results, and then watch it on the iPlayer when I get to the lake when I'm set up in the middle of the night. That's the plan. But for now, scrambled eggs and bacon, Premier in style, and off to the show. Oh no, I left my room open all night. Let's go. This is hideous. I left the show at 4 o'clock. It's a 3-hour journey to the lake. I've been travelling for 3 hours, 3 1/4, maybe nearly 3 hours, 20 minutes. And I'm still an hour and a half away. It's just a nightmare. Every single road I've been on is rammed. The M1's hideous. The M60 was worse. It said it would take me an extra hour, so I diverted off of that. It's Sunday night, for Christ's sake. There is just so many people everywhere. I've just pulled off into Newport Pagnell Services because I'm gasping for something. I need some coffee and something to keep me going for the rest of the journey. But God knows what time I'm going to get there. It's pitch black. At least it's not raining anyway, that's the main thing. But I can see me getting set up by sometime just before midnight at this rate. But there you go, such is life. Right, coffee.
Morning. So here we are, quite a familiar view now. The water receded a little bit from last week. Not totally in the flood, sort of going back to where it belongs. Next door's still flooded right out. It's a bit soggy. Got here last night. 4.5 hours it ended up taking me to get here from Manchester. Obviously pitch dark, but I know what I'm doing in this swim. I think I do anyway. So wrapped them up, whacked them out, spent about half an hour getting some bait out over them. Put out quite a bit actually. So it was a good move or a bad move yet, we'll find out. And then I watched the rugby. I managed to get all the way here. Obviously the rugby was at 3 in the afternoon. I got here in radio silence. I walked into the garage to get a cup of coffee. And I actually spoke to you from the services. That was my second stop. My first stop was just in a normal sort of roadside garage. They must have thought I was a mental case. I walked in there. I walked up to the coffee machine. And suddenly I heard a rugby commentator's voice. And it was the after-match interview. It was on the telly with volume in the garage. And I stuck my fingers in my ears and ran out the garage. Luckily there was a guy struggling with the door with a handful of coffees, and as he got the door open I just ran straight past him with my fingers in my ears, got in the truck and drove off again. I'd quite like to see it on the CCTV actually. A good little addition to the blog. Yeah, anyway, so drove. I managed to get here. Didn't know the result. Knew I could watch it on the ITV player. So I watched that at about 11 o'clock last night. It was a blinding game. England played so well at last. Back on form. Yeah, I just woken up. Hence all the yawning. About 7 o'clock I think it is. Getting light a bit earlier now as well. But no bites in the night. But I had that. I mean, last time I had bites in here, they were sort of 8 to 10 o'clock in the morning, so still time. Still time. Oh. There's a couple of guys on the opposite bank, dead opposite me, and I think that's it. It was nice and flat carp when I got set up, but now it's windy, it's blowing straight in my door. I can't get any pegs to stay in the front here because it's been so wet. All the ground's sodden. So if any rain or anything comes, I'm going to have a little, I don't know, do something, a little repair to the front. But for now, a cup of tea. Oh, get my brain working. Well, the clock is ticking. Unfortunately, my clutches aren't. It's about 9:30 and I've not had a beep yet apart from the swan. So, don't know what's happened. My hotspots dried up. Either the fish have just had enough of getting hooked out there and fragmented off into various parts of the lake. The weather's not all that either. You wouldn't call it raining, but if you stood out there you'd get very wet. It's like clouds settled on top of us. Drizzle, that's what it is. But if I was going to get any this morning, I sort of would have expected one by now, to be honest. So there is still time. I've had them up till sort of 10, half 10 in the morning, but you usually get an earlier one than that if you're going to get a later one, if that makes sense. It's not usually the only bite at sort of 10, half 10. Usually the last bite. So, I don't know. Very little in the way of food because I've just come, obviously, from the show. I didn't get to stop at a shop. Haven't got many supermarkets on the M1 or the M25. At some stage I'm going to have to go get some grub and figure out what I'm going to do for tonight. Do I just sit it out, hope they turn up, or do I relocate? I don't fancy just doing it on a guess though. I'd like to see fish. I did see one fish yesterday evening, but it was in my swim. It was closer than I actually fished, but something went over. But it was nice and flat calm then, and very easy to see them. I don't think we're going to get any more calm. I just have to look at the forecast, and it's going to be quite blustery the next couple of days. Well, look at that. The wind has finally dropped. It's not raining. It's actually probably going to be quite sunny. It is, however, freezing. And totally and utterly fishless. I don't know what's going on. I think my magic little hotspot has finally dried up. Been out there happily feeding for weeks, well, a couple of weeks, and the February window of opportunity has been firmly slammed shut. But that's what happens at this time of year. Get these little opportunities, make the most of them while they're there, because it is winter after all. I don't think anybody's that I know of has had anything. Gary over the other side had a £4 common this morning, but I don't know if that amounts to much. I was intending originally to do tonight as well, but I've been away from home for 4 nights now on the show. And, it's cold, and I think I might have had enough. If I do stay, which is unlikely, I'll definitely move, but I think maybe moving home, regrouping, coming back next week's a better idea. The final breakfast. I've got about an hour left. So I'd eat whatever I had left in the cool box. Look at that. That looks an absolute blinder, doesn't it? Scoff that. Cup of tea. Quick fag. Pack up. Unless they decide to do something in that time period. But if not, see you all next week. Ta-da!